Welcome to Dalmar TV. I'm your host Sabrine, and today we are covering all the contributions the Somali community has locally as well as nationally in the United States. We are with President Shafi Shafat of Somali Chamber of Commerce. Welcome.
Thank you, Sabrine.
So I will start by asking you questions that are really important and most of our audience are interested in. As president of the Somali Chamber of Commerce, representing more than 13,000 Somali-owned businesses across Ohio, how would you highlight the strength, leadership, and economic power of the Somali community in today's America?
Thank you, Sabrine. That's a great question. As you have mentioned, yep, we have over 13,000 smaller LLCs here in Central Ohio. And as you know, as the president of the Somali American Chamber of Commerce, I oversee and help these individuals from a long period of time. And when it comes to the Somali business owners, we are tangibly visible all over Ohio. We have seen when you drive in Cleveland area, when you drive in Morris Road, you see malls of Somalis. You see Somalis driving vehicles around. You see, business interacting visibly. You see gas stations. You see clothing store. You see grocery store, different kind of stores. So, and those are real taxpayers. Those are individuals who employ locally. Those are individuals who sustain the local economy in Central Ohio. When we say we are the largest led minorities chamber in Central Ohio, that is independent again. We are not dependent on any activities like maybe help by the city, by the State Department. We don't get no help. We only help each other. And that's how we run the economy here, and that's how we become successful. I'm one of them. I'm a small business owner, and I have been in Ohio for the last 12 years. And, I have done significant. I have people who I've employed, the tax I have paid, the trainings I have done, and institutions that I worked with.
Is it safe to say the Somali community are creating the economy? They're helping it grow as well as thrive?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that will be a good thing to say. Yes, we are helping this great economy, and we are helping Ohio moving forward. We are taxpayers. We are not, some other people think, we are dependent on toxic charity, that we get handouts from the city or we get handouts from any other institutions. No, we have around 67,000 Somalis here in Central Ohio. And out of that number, every Somalian, we have almost, out of the 13,000, we have 7,000 in the trucking industry. Every truck that's moving in Ohio, you either see a Somali driving the truck or owns that truck. We have 19 lots. Each lot has, couple of, 700, 600 trucks. And you can see visibly, even nationwide, Somali truck drivers. They are known. What does that mean? When a person goes out to work in a truck driving, it's a very hard job. I have been a truck driver. I know, driving, getting away from your family and getting all over there. That means these people are eager to build this economy. These people are eager to, intermingle with the local, with the local community. These people are eager to create jobs. So yes, Somalis are hard workers.
You know what they say, people lie, but numbers never lie. So if you're ever interested, check your facts. My next question, you work closely with thousands of Somali entrepreneurs every day. What should the nation truly understand about the role in job creation, innovation, and strengthening local economies?
That's a great question. The nation should understand that in building capacity, you need a lot of manpower. You need a lot of, trainings. You need a lot of, things that will help ease your upgrowing or upcoming. In every business, whenever you start a local business, it's hard. It's not easy to start. A lot of people are very, I will use the word coward. They cannot start a bit. They think, I will fail. If I start this small business, I will fail. Somalis are very courageous people. Every Somalian, we are born entrepreneurs. Back home, we were taught that, hey, you can always do by yourself. So um, the government, the state, the city, they should know if we are given the right tool, we can change this city, we can change this state. Let me take you back 20, 30 years ago. There are suburbs in Ohio that were abandoned, that we call it the ghetto area, that were no longer existing. And the Somali community started to come in, and the whole suburb changed. It's a beautiful, they bought houses, they bought stores, they have malls, there's mosque up there, there's a thriving community. So in every thriving community, you know, I saw a guy on TikTok last time saying, oh, Somalis go work at Walmart, there's a lot of them. Oh yes, my daughter every day is asking, Dad, when am I going to work? We are that kind of people. Mm-hmm. And they need to understand that we are not people who are on handouts. We are go-getters. So don't be jealous. We don't buy our money with beer, or we don't buy our money with unnecessary stuff. We save our money to buy beautiful cars, to buy beautiful houses, to buy, have a beautiful clothing. That's how we work. Even in every country that's successful. If you go back to Africa, Kenya, if you look at the Kenyan economy, Somalis are on the top. If you go to Zambia, Somalis are on the top. If you go to Turkey, Somalis are on the top. And here in America, we'll be on the top.
Yeah. I definitely agree with you. Somali people are born entrepreneurs, born leaders. And as far as gentrification and Somali people moving to areas, I'm in real estate, so I have far experience on that. There are locations that are being gentrified by minority communities, which is Somali as part of that minority community, but they are changing neighborhoods for the better, for the future growth of the city and the economy. So I definitely agree with you on that. And then from your leadership's perspective, how do Somali-owned businesses embody the value of hard work, resilience, and the American dream?
Thank you, Sabrina. I think the nation needs to understand that Somali business are one of the most hardworking and the fast-growing economic engines in America. And we operate logistic companies. We move economy coast to coast. We own real estate, transportations. We build wealth. We employ Americans. Many communities in Ohio will always, a lot of communities collapse. If you look back at those communities that came before us, that were there, 40, 50 years ago. We just came, from 1990, 1992, 1996. And now we have moved, we have politicians, Somali young politicians who are every day eagerly, saying that, hey, I want to be a state rep, I want to be in the city council, I want to be there. Those ambitions need to be amplified. How? In every sector of economy, there are those people who drive the economy. So here, we drive the economy. In this place, in this office where we are right now, around us, you see many Somali building owners, offices that are occupied by the Somali community. What they do, small business, maybe tax return, maybe home health care, maybe a daycare. You move around the bank, around down there, you'll see a mosque. Around the mosque, you see a lot of restaurants. Those are tax generating, individuals who are paying tax and who are fueling money into the American economy. So I have seen Somalis are people who are always on the upfront to change their life and to change the life of others. And we also have one good thing among us, which is we help ourselves. We help between ourselves. When anything comes up, if a member of the Champa today comes out and says, oh, he has a lawsuit and there's something going on, we all contribute toward that and help him get his lawyer, get the best lawyer, and get whatever he needs back. If somebody, went out of business and he has nothing, we come together and say, okay, we want to put so-and-so back to business. How can we do that? Let's contribute $100,000. How can we do that? Let's have 1,000 people who can, have each one $1,000. And then that way we can help this person and he can help the others tomorrow. Then we help your brother today so that you can get it tomorrow. And then you form a kind of a community that thrives. That's why we are successful. That's why a lot of people are jealous about us. That's why they're saying in TikTok and everywhere, oh, Somalis are dependent on toxic charity. Somalis. No, we are not. Somalis are business owners, and they are very hard workers, and they will continue to thrive, and they are proud to be Americans, and they will continue to be more on top of every other community, every other immigrant, every other community here in the United States.
Thank you for that. The true definition of strength is community supporting one another, and our community truly shows that. Supporting one another when one is down, we all have their back. And as far as there has been, we all know it, there has been national discussions following the recent political remarks that our president has made involving the Somali community. What perspective would you like to offer to reflect the big picture on the Somali contribution, the impact in this community?
Thank you, Sabrina. That's a great question. I respect the president. I respect that office. Everybody who sits in that office needs to be respected. I will condemn individuals from my communities that are using the president's name, unnecessary. But in fact, the fact is that the word the president have used, that Somalis are garbage, is unacceptable. We are not garbage. Mr. President, we have voted for you. We have voted when no one dared to. We have stand with you when no one was able to. And we have risked our life when we voted for you. We voted for you. We all know why we voted at that time. I am a former Republican candidate here in Central Ohio. And, it's not that I just became a Republican. It's a party that aligns with my core values and principles. And I cannot go over my principles. There's no way I can just decide to abandon and say, oh, because the president said something about my community, I'm going to abandon I'm not going to do that. I'm still a Republican. I believe in the Republican Party principles, but I don't agree with the president. Mr. President, we are not garbage. We are a community that thrives here in the United States. We are a community that are taxpayers. We are a community that are building the American economy. So I will never agree with the president, and I hope the president will understand who we are.
Definitely. I personally believe the president of the United States needs to come out and apologize publicly, because he disrespected a whole community, a whole nation that is the backbone of the United States, and we can't sit back and tolerate it.
In fact, it's the truth that, individuals that have been involved in crime in Minnesota, which is the fact that's there. They have misused or, tried to steal money from, the local government and all those things. Those were individuals. Every community, the Jewish community, the other African communities, the Irish, every community has people who have been involved in crime. Even the president himself, his lawyer is in jail.
Really?
You remember the president's lawyer is in jail because he was indicted on something. There are a couple of people who are around the president that also stole. But that does not mean that the president should speak about a community and tarnish them and says, this is a garbage community and they should go home. We're not going anywhere. We're here to stay. And he's the top of the party up there. When things changes, we will not going to go with the wind. I am a proud Republican, and I will stay a Republican. And I will challenge and I will defend my community at all times while I'm a Republican. But the fact is that the office of the president is a very respected office. Whoever is in that seat is a well-respected person. So the words the president used, he have to calculate and see how hurtful it is. We had now a mosque was being banned. My sister and my wife and my daughter cannot walk out, confidentially outside and say, oh, am I going to be attacked? So the president is creating all this havoc and fear into the immigrants community, which will continue. And what will happen? People will start attacking. And what will happen? We will have to defend ourselves. And then what happens? A chaos that will start. The immigration, the ICE, and, government institutions that work toward, arresting illegal immigrants. Those are laws that are being done in this country, and every individual who is not legal in this country, I believe, should either be legalized or should go back home. That's something that's cleared in the Constitution. But that has got nothing to do with a community that thrives and are taxpayers and are building businesses and fueling money into this great nation's economy, and then you tarnish them out of nowhere. I will not agree with the president. Mr. President, I respect you as a party member, as a loyalist, and as a person who voted for you. And I believe my community does not deserve that. Somalians are people with dignity. We are Muslims. We are proud Americans, and we'll continue to serve this country as long as we can.
Recently, I've heard a case, very sensitive. It was a Muslim Somali sister that was arrested by the ICE agency. They arrested her. She is an American citizen, so she's legal, and they arrested her, kept her hostage for 24 hours without any lawyers. So I believe people with power are taking advantage of the power and authorities they have and misusing it against communities. And that is the remark that the president made is what causes all the backlashes. I've seen on social media there's so many trolling, backlashes, disrespect that's going on, and it all started when our president disrespected our nation.
Sabrina, I don't agree with you on that. Honestly, there's a lot of social media articles, exaggerations. Yes, there is people, you cannot be detained if you are a U.S. citizen unless there is a reason you have, there's a crime involved, but you cannot be detained or deported as a U.S. citizen. But if anything happens to her or him, you have the right to access a lawyer. But when we listen to the social media and all these exaggerations, it's not true. It's not really true. So I believe we should not be panicking. We are U.S. citizens. We are proud U.S. American citizens living here. We have contributed to this economy. We have, voted regardless of who we voted for, and this thing will just be ending soon. So I urge my communities to be very vigilant and to access all legal, illegal institutions that can help. And I don't think, and it will not happen, a U.S. citizen to be either deported or arrested or intimidated. And if anything happens, you can reach out to us. We have lawyers that we have access to them, and we can challenge that.
Definitely. I would definitely say know your rights, especially if you're an American citizen. Know your rights, know your amendment. At least the first 14 amendments you should know or memorize by heart. The First Amendment is freedom of speech as well as religion. Know that. The Fourth Amendment is political searches. Know that you cannot be searched without legal warrants. So, as well as the 14th Amendment, equal protection. You have the right to equal protection just like any other citizen, same color or not. So know your rights, memorize the amendment, and may God be with all of us. Well, any final remarks?
Thank you, Sabrina. Thanks for that part. It is unfortunate whatever is happening in the country right now, and we hope everything will ease, and we hope our President Donald J. Trump will understand that, calling a whole community such a bad name will end. And we are very proud Americans and will continue to serve this nation. And I think by the end of this year, hopefully, the President will see who we are and will decide and say, oh, this is not the community I thought. These are people who stand with me when nobody dared to. When nobody really dared. Everybody was saying a lot of bad things about President. He was going to jail. He's a rapist. He does this, all those things. But we ignored that things on one agenda. And you know that agenda, what it is. So we're very proud when the President, of the United States says that, he held a Muslim iftar at the White House and told them that Muslims supported me. And we are Muslims, and we are Americans, and we are, local immigrants. We are, the backbone of this economy, and I don't think we deserve that.
Definitely.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Welcome to Dalmar TV. I'm your host, and have a good day.